What's up guys, Remo here, and in this video I will finally break down how to launch and scale your brand to 100k a month basically from scratch. We got a lot of questions about how did you do everything on the front end, like how did you launch your first creatives, how did you choose your first creatives, and etc. In this video I will explain everything we have learned by our own brand, but also learn from other brands and from other people as well. So let's dive into it. What comes first? So first, there are two pilots very important before start working on marketing, and it's the product and everything after the click, basically the web shop. Okay, you can scale every product to 100k a month with this strategy, but for the long term for your brand, it's very important to choose the right product. Do not overthink this. Do not complicate it. For product, it's very important to choose one of the differentiations. Like, is it a product future differentiation? For example, your competitors has a supplement and you're gonna add an extra ingredient that makes it stronger, or you can connect more angles to it. That's a way of differentiation. Market differentiation, for example, your competitors are crushing it in UK. You can basically crushing it in US with the same product, same everything. That's also a way of differentiation. And you also have offer differentiation. So where you can basically compete with your competitors in the same market with the same product, but they are offering it for a way higher price. That's also a way that there is basically a price gap. Okay. Second thing is everything after the click. Also, do not overthink this. Like, just replicate the product page from your top competitor. Just remake it, but make sure to use your own content and stuff, what can be very easily done with AI these days. And make sure to try to make the offer better. Yeah, so an offer gap. In that way, yeah, your product page is already proven that it will works because you replicate it from a competitor. Why does the strategy below that I'm gonna show you guys will work? One is we formulated the structure while building our own brand. I In my last video with Brandon, we showed you exactly how we scaled our brand from 0 to 1.5 million days, or 1.5 million euros in 90 days. Here was the timeline, but we didn't dive very deep into marketing. But during building our brand, I made a basically a list for myself. Okay, that had worked, that didn't work, and in that way we created like a kind of formula that we also use right now with some other brands. We are help with scaling, but also we learned a lot from other brands and people during the way, like meet up with people, communities, and stuff. So yeah, we'll show you basically the stages that we're gonna follow. Why I call it stages is you can do everything together. You can rip, you can create creative from scratch, everything together, but you will get like it will get overcomplicated. So the first stage is rip and iterate on competitors in your from the same product. The second step is replicate winning concepts from TikTok Shop, so middle of funnel, that are imitations in your niche and overall. So it doesn't need to be the same product, it can be from other supplement brands as well. The third stage is iterate on your own winners. So then you understand like feedback loops and how to create winners from winners, etc. I will dive deeper into that. And the fourth stage, and at that stage you're probably already doing 50 or 100k a month, is creatives based on research and feedback loops. So basically from scratch. So why, when you don't have creatives yet ready, you want to rip and iterate? Your ad account is new and your pixel as well. You want to feed it with basically proven winners that can that basically Facebook and that can send Facebook in the right direction into optimizing their audience for you. How we did it is um, we just launched winners from TikTok Shop and other brands and just let it rip and iterate on it. Why it's low effort with AI these days? It doesn't take much time to edit or to think or script writing, brief writing. No, it's easy to do yourself and with an editor, or I even helped also some brand owners that did it from scratch also the editing itself. The third thing is high volume. You can do this on a very high volume. With all the ad spy tools we have these days, it's very easy to find a lot of winners from competitors based on engagement and, for example, in Cato Data, where you can see the revenue and stuff. And it's a great step to understand what works in your niche, to getting an understanding of marketing and what is performing well in your niche. So there are a few steps you have to follow. The first step is TikTok Shop winners using Cato data. Okay, TikTok Shop is all UGC. It's all middle of funnel. And with the tool Cato data, we use, by the way, ToolSuite. It's like a tool where you have everything. Yeah, it's basically you have your own browser, and in this browser, you have all the tools you basically need for all the stages. So you have Agen, you have like Cato data, you even have ChatGPT. I think 11 Labs not. You have Higgsfield, as you saw. Everything you need, and you just pay like a small fee a month. No promo, but it's just a no-brainer to start with this instead of wasting hundreds of dollars each month on tools where you just are not printing yet. So what you do in TikTok Shop is, to come back on the structure, very simple. Just rip it and replace the parts where the product visual is shown. Okay, because there are most likely some competitors you have on TikTok Shop, but what we did is with HeyGen, and these days you can also use VO3, is just removing the parts where their product is shown to us. And that way, everything is the same. You can basically deep fake the avatar, and that's basically a proven winner you can launch, and it doesn't take a lot time. So in Kalo data, where you go is just video and ads, and add categories, sure, and supplements. I would say first, by the way, find your competitor, but to give you just an understanding is um, nutrition and wellness. If you have a supplement brand, and then scroll like when you see a similar product. For example, if you have magnesium pills, you see here the top creators spent like created like 160K in revenue in the last 30 days. In that way, it's very easy to find winners from your competitors on TikTok Shop, middle of funnel. This is what I said, like change the parts where the product is shown. Or you can even like recreate it with AI tools. But that's the first step we did. The second thing is you also have Facebook competitors, of course, and you can use Ad Library and Ad Spy to check their winners they are currently where they are currently crushing it with. Just check with Ad Library if the ads are active, and an Ad Spy filter on most engaged, filter search their page or with their landing URL, and in that way you basically find the active ads that has the most engaged, that are most probably their winners. So then you have TikTok Shop winners and most engaged creatives from Facebook. What are most likely their winners? The third is focus on competitors with the same product or brands targeting the same angle. You can also, again, find on TikTok Shop or Facebook brands that doesn't have the same product, but just a similar product or even a different supplement, but targeting same angles. So, for example, I don't know, um, you have a supplement that works for brain fog, but you also have a powder that works for brain fog. Then you can also search that brand and rip their creatives, but just change some parts in the video. Okay, make sure to note for yourself as well as this is temporary, so it's not for long term. It's just to kick off, and again to just feed your picks on ad accounts. A very shortcut is BM Spies. With BM Spies you can basically see in one eye of in one clip what their winners are, what the most spenders are, which are active. You basically dive into their ad account. That's a very shortcut, and you will learn a lot from that as well, because they also know their campaign structure and stuff. But again, also don't overcomplicate that. Um, so the goal is basically at the first stage is to you want to feed uh, Facebook the entire funnel and awareness stages inside one campaign. So you want to have a mix of of each part of the funnel. So top of funnel, so very unaware people. You can find long form and short form VSLs and long form statics, mostly on Facebook. So it's you can use Ad Library, but you can also use Altria. And Altria, you can see a lot like the top landing pages, how which creatives they launch to which landing pages. You can do a lot with it. And AdSpy, so top of funnel creatives, long form, short form VSLs, mostly on Facebook. Then for middle of funnel creatives, we use TikTok Shop or organic. For example, TikTok organic is very helpful. And bottom of funnel statics. Again, statics are mostly advertised on Facebook, so we also check down with AdSpy. So then you have from each awareness stage a lot of content of basically ripped and iterated creatives for each part of the funnel that we can launch in Facebook. But how do you launch it? Because there are also so many questions about that. It's very simple. So you have just one CBO per region. You always start with one region. I would say one country in the big five, but I prefer US. But again, if you use the market differentiation. So for example, are you competitor in UK and you want to launch in US, then do US. Okay, if that's the way how you want to advertise, of how you want to scale the brand, because that's what happened a lot. Like people rip products on TikTok Shop, they just move it to, for example, UK or Australia. That's a way of market differentiation. So in that way, start with a CBO in Australia. Then when you're gonna launch, put the budget on $200. Not too much, just $200. You can even do $100, but it depends on your capacity, cash flow. And in that campaign, you have two ad sets. Okay, you have one ad set that is your testing ad set. We will launch all ripped creatives in there. The other one, you put it on draft. It's in champion ad set. There are no creatives in there yet. So when you're gonna launch it, you're gonna put a minimum budget of 50% of the budget. So in this case, when you launch it on $200, $100. And why? Like in the beginning, you don't have ads in the champion ad set yet, so it will spend the full budget to test ad set, what is also the goal. But I will come back on that later. But when you get some winners that you move to the champion ad set, then you still want to put spend to test ad set because you want to have more winners. Because if you don't put a minimum amount of budget on the test ad set inside the CBO, which you can do on ad set level, by the way, then probably all spend will still go to the winner in the champion ad set. And in that way, yeah, I found it not easy to find like multiple winners. So the champion ad set is what we're gonna use to move creatives that absorb most of the spend here, no matter if they are no matter if they are profitable or not. You will see that there will be some creatives that slurps all the spend. Those creatives will optimize your pixel and ad account in the right direction. And that's why you don't want to put them off but move into the champion ad set. They will optimize day by day. Okay. So in the beginning, it's also very important to never put an ad off. Okay. And I will explain you why. So when you're going to validate your ads, okay, you put your first batches live and make sure that the first stage is just about volume, like volume ripping and iterating. So with this campaign structure, it's very important to feed the campaign with new creatives daily, like launch a batch every day in that test ad set. Okay, so we don't gonna create new ad sets per each test. No, just put everything in the test ad set and let it run. Then when you validate each creative, you're gonna validate each creative that has run for 7 days. Okay. So when you launch your first batch, that batch, you just let it run. You don't touch it. You just come back on it after 7 days. That's what you're going to do for each creative. Okay. Then you're going to validate it. If it slurps all the spend in the test ad set, move it with post ID to the champion ad set. After it got approved and got some spend, turn it off in a test ad set. And why? Then the winner that slurped all the budget is in the champion ad set, and it's turned off in a test ad set, so it makes room to spend to other creatives, and the spend of the campaign will not go to that's creative in the champion ad set because you have a minimum amount of spend. Okay, I will make most likely a video about this to dive deeper into that as well. But it should be clear. So when you validate it, the creators that slurps all the spend, no matter if the performance is good or not, because again, it can slurp all the spend without sales, but don't turn it off because it basically helps optimizing your pixel. Um, as a concept is working, but it takes some time to hack to get some sales. Of course, it can end up unprofitable, and we're gonna turn it off later. But in the beginning, I don't recommend to turn off ads. Why? You will also get some spend with healthy performance. So ads with some spend, so not a lot, but they get some sales. Move them also with post ID into the champion ad set, and there will also be creators with no spend of some without performance yet. Just don't touch them and let it run in the test ad set. Don't never kill an ad at this stage yet. Budget optimization. So along the way, the campaign will get profitable, um, and then we can scale it. That's about this. Like increase spend slowly when campaign turns profitable for 3 days in a row. Yeah, when your campaign is just an overall the $200 budget profitable and it hits profitable for 3 days, then you know, okay, you're getting stabilized, and that's where we're gonna scale up slowly. But keep the budget on $200. Never downscale. Why? This is a long-term project. We're gonna feed every day more creatives. Um, it will become profitable, but if you're gonna turn off things or you're gonna downscale, then it will not help. Okay. For example, in with our brand, we did this structure on like 3K budget where we were unprofitable in the first week, first 2 weeks even. But yeah, it helped us with a lot of speed. Okay. So at the second stage, so when this is already you keep doing this, the first stage, or rip and iterate, but it doesn't take a lot of time. So the second stage is we're gonna replicate winning concepts. Okay, winning concepts is not about the same. It's not replicating winners from same product brands. No, it can be from other supplement brands as well. Why? Because those are proven winning concepts, still low effort and high intent. So it doesn't take a lot of time to edit to create those creatives, but it has a lot of impact because those are proven concepts. And you're getting basically the step two in getting marketing understanding because you understand, okay, this is winning for their brand, for their product. How can we reverse it to our product? Okay, you're getting a better understanding. At this stage, I recommend to get an editor. You can easily get an editor from online jobs and walk him through Ecom Talent course. It's a course for editors where they basically learn everything in terms of marketing and AI tools. At this stage, you need an editor for volume because you have to focus on the strategy part. You will not focus anymore on editing the videos because you have to buy your time to focus on the strategy and learning more about it. Okay, so there are a few steps. First is study TikTok shop brands with top revenue videos. That can be from all different brands. Like what I said, it doesn't need to be when you're selling, for example, a sleep pill. It doesn't need to be a sleep pill brand. No. When I go back to Tool Suite, so how when you're at the top videos at health and wellness, Just check winning concepts from other brands as well, uh, and just like replicate it to your product, but keep the same concept. Okay. Now, how you're gonna do that is first understanding yourself why they are printing. Okay. At this stage, you need to get an understanding. Okay, why is the concept working? Check the comments. Check begin hook, hold rate, just metrics to see okay why are people engaged with it, just the basic. Okay, after that you have the understanding, and then we can replicate it to your product. How you do that is very simple these days with with AI tools like Gemini and Claude. And what I have seen that has worked a lot for other people. um, I tested like two different prompts from Twitter that are doing pretty well. And yeah, you basically replicate the video, reverse it to your product. So for example, here's a winning TikTok video, and here's basically how you can rip the script and change the psychology and the concept to your product. Okay, you can put it on pause and read it. There was also another one, like for example, when you have a VSL for this part, you can also with Gemini, it can read your whole video in terms of visuals and text and voiceover, and just getting to understand why it's working, how to analyze it, getting the full script, and it can rewrite it for your product. And you can optimize it, what I said here, with Claude. So for example, when you have a Claude project with all stuff from your brand, the deep research and stuff, you can make you can make variations of the replicated script from Gemini, and then basically let your editor crush. Okay, so nowadays you can get b-rolls from the internet, you can get UGC, you can even deepfake, or you can make videos yourself, because some videos are not no person shown. um, but in that way you don't have to you are not only like ripping from your competitors with the same product, but now what you're basically gonna do is you're gonna check, okay, why are those concepts working, and just replicate it to your product, to your audience. In that way, because the concept is all working. For example, this where you're talking about the sale, dropped the six pack for the zero sugar bundle. It's a concept, and you can make it the same for your product. Okay, and this is also again an low effort, high intent task. And again, also for this, it's temporary, just to kick off, just to go consistently to 100K months. Okay, so you can do this for competitors with same product or brands targeting same angle. Um, for top of funnel and bottom funnel, because again, you want to replicate winning concepts not only for UGC on TikTok Shop, but also for statics for bottom of funnel and VSLs for top of funnel. You can do the same. Download the videos from AdSpy uh, with Ad Library and Altria, their most engaged VSLs, and just throw them in Gemini to read the full video, analyze it, and replicate it. Same for statics. Just put you can even put it in ChatGPT as well and ask why is it working with a good prompt, and in that way you can recreate it. Now these days, even with Nano Banana, very easy to just replicate something that is already proven. In that way, we can feed the campaign here with like daily, I would say 10 new creatives that are proven, and within no time you will have like 100 active ads um, in your campaign. And in that way you will see, what I've always seen is that it will get profitable at one point, and that way you can yeah, we can basically go to the next step. By the way, with this stage you can already do 100K a month. That's also why I don't want to go too deep into those stages. But okay, after that, so that's basically fully, you can easily sort it out by someone like you can do a creative, you can already hire a creative strategist, but I would not recommend it if you're not doing the 100K months. And otherwise you can just do it your sample by yourself with a great workflow. Iterate on winners. So at this point, you will get winners in the campaign, and we have to do something with them because they're showing a lot of data potential, and here is where feedback loops come in place. So you became to a point, stage where you really have to understand what is working and why not without AI. Yeah? In all those two stages, we used a lot of AIs, just over here just changing the product, here using Gemini Claude, where basically you still don't have to think a lot. But at this stage where you get winners in in your campaign, you can scale, um, and you're getting an understanding why those concepts are working. At this stage, you want to iterate on your winners, because iterations on your own winners can make losers become winners, winners become super winners, and winner creates winners. Okay, you can clone it to multiple winners by just making variations. There's You have to do that by doing the feedback loops on your Facebook ads with the hold rate, hook rate, but also just going through that video or image multiple times to getting understand, okay, here is the drop off, for example, or the hook rate is like 50%. That's very good, but why are people not converting? Like, what is the CTR? What is the conversion rate for the creative with like custom metrics in the ads manager? I can also dive deeper into that in another video, but um, I just want to explain the stages. Like right now, you have to iterate on winners, and you can iterate in multiple ways. So, for example, when it's a winner, you can make the begin hook, for example, more powerful, or you can make it, for example, a bit more unaware to attract more people into the winning ad. You can analyze in the hold rate where the drop off is, so where does people basically click away, and there is the point where you have to iterate in terms of b-rolls or stronger copywriting. Um, or you can also iterate when you have winners. So, for example, you have a winner, just create it with a new avatar, so with a new content creator. Or if the VSL is working, just use the same copywriting, but use different B rolls. There are so many ways to iterate. And at this point where you already have winners, you have the whole workflow to rip content and to just get data, your pixel and ad accounts optimizing, you're getting your own content, you're getting your own statics. That's the point where you have to getting and understand why something is working and why not, and how to iterate on that. That's the third stage. Then the fourth stage, this goes very deep as what like 7, 8 figure operators are doing. And after the first three stages are still ongoing in your own workflow, so you don't stop with them. You can slowly like stop with ripping. You can slowly stop with just checking only in your own niche, and focus more on this. But I will explain you how to do that. Um, First, you have to start monitoring this workflow with a creative strategist. Okay, the creative strategist basically focus on this part. Then you can focus on the fourth stage. So creating creatives from scratch, getting an understanding of marketing, doing research daily with feedback loops. Um, because when you really want to scale your brand to like that 1 million a month, you need to know how to create creatives from research yourself. You have to do daily research and feedback loops to dive deeper into your product, avatars, and market. You need to create a creative workflow with research, rewriting, editing, launching, and feedback loops, and obviously a team building. I can make like tons of videos about this, how to do this step by step, but most likely at this stage you're already doing 100K a month. So you first have to focus on those three first stages, like how we did it and how we also do it with other brands. Um, because again, this is where we scale brands from 100K a month. With this 100K a month, to like 1 million a month, consistently using team building, because there's a team needed for this, like creative strategists, maybe multiple editors, and the right workflow. Okay, I can go much deeper into the last stages, but at this stage you should already hit 100K a month. So yeah, if you're a brand and you just started out, follow those 3 stages: mastering it, outsourcing it, buy your time back to focus on the later stages, and start becoming a marketing genius in the last stage. And that's how we do it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you at the next one.